Good day, everybody. How are we all doing? It's me, Mr. Flynn, in the building. We're back. It's been a while, a month of no racing, but we're back on F123 for the lovely F2 racing, round number 1 here at the lovely street circuit of Baku. And Mav in the chat as well, saying, please commentate curse everyone so I can get pole. K, thanks. No worries, Mav. There you go. So anybody who's trying to go for pole, only let Mav get it. Nobody else. Copy. Okay, I'm glad we agreed. I'm glad. But yes, we are here, like I said, for round number 1 at the Baku circuit. A total of around about 20 turns in total. 2 lovely, lengthy DRS straights. One, obviously, as you approach down to turn number 1 when you do a lap completely again. And then you've got your, let's say, your second DRS zone, or your first one, really, at the exit of turn 2, down to turn 3. Bish, bash, bosh. There you go. 3 sectors. You already know that. For anyone regarding what's happening with F124 as well, or 23, do have a look at the latest announcements in Phoenix Sim Sport, and that'll tell you all the lovely and juicy information there. But we've got a total of 8 cars on the grid today, so yeah, let's get into it. I believe everyone's getting ready to jump on in, so we're going to wait for the final few, I say, cars to ready up, get going, and away we go. Bish bash bosh. But yeah, I'm very, very excited to be doing this once again. We're going to see who's going to take pole. Who are we predicting? I'm going to hope that no one else doesn't except Mav in qualifying. So let's get straight to the one-shot quali. Here we go, just loading in now. This could take some time, but we'll see how we get on, eh? We'll see how we get on. As I like to call it, patience is key. And who are we riding on board with this evening? I do not know. Oh, someone's already pressed ready up. Yikes, that could be a problem if someone's already done that. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, if you've got F123 and you're looking to do some more racing, why not join the F2 lot? Because trust me, a lot of enjoying fantastic things happen at F2 with wheel-to-wheel action, crazy crashes at some points, crazy overtakes. You'll love to see it right here on the lovely channel of Phoenix Sim Sport. There we go. The timer has begun. We have around about 25 seconds, chat. Predict in the chat, who do you think is going to take home pole position? Who are we all thinking? Let me know in the chat, and we'll see who grabs it. And off we go. We're on board with... Okay. We're on board with Viper Strikes this evening. Making his way past the start and finish. To start his lap here. Down to turns number 1 and 2 very, very shortly. And as this is one-shot quali, DRS will automatically be activated, hopefully, at the exit of turn 2. Very nicely done there. And DRS should be activated. There we are. We'd love to see it. There it is. Let me just get the quick things we might need on. There we go. So, Viper Strikes currently sitting in P5 at the moment, now in P4, making his way down to turn number 3 towards turn number 4 very, very shortly. Yeah, not too bad. Very, very close to the walls there, and being very aggressive on the curbs as well. But now approaching turn number 5 and 6, got to hug the inside as much as you can, and then try and get the car straightened up again as you make your way, as I like to call it, in the tricky part of sector 2, turns 7, 8, 9 and 10, the good old, I like to call it castle section, where if you get it all wrong, you could be a Charles Leclerc, I am stupid, and into the barriers there. But Viper Strikes doing perfect there and managing to keep it out of the wall, keep it on track, still valid, I believe. And now he's making his way through the final couple of corners of 14 and then 15 and 16, and the rest to go very on nicely. And like I say, once again, to perfection. Still sitting around in P6. Currently, the top 3 is Mr. Bob McQueen, Suffocating, and to choose Viper finding lap time and then losing it in some corners. In what's about, you could say. Oh, saying that, never mind. He has smacked the wall completely. Coming out of turn number 18 towards 19. So, that's not ideal. And that is his qualifying done and dusted. He'll be starting at the back of the grid. I didn't get a glimpse of what the times were there, so apologies on that one. But it's Bob McQueen on pole position to start off the sprint race for round number 1 here at Baku for the F2 lot. Here it is, a 1 minute 52.858. Ollie Sotti in P2, around about a tenth behind with a 153.002. And then Chatus taking up the final podium position, a 1 minute 53.316, about 4 tenths off, and the gap slowly starts to open up, but it's very close between James Mustang and Brizzen. They're quite close on times, which is quite scary, but quite exciting as we move to the sprint race. So I believe it's 11 laps around this circuit. So yeah, Maverick not having a great lap, starting down in P7, about 2.5 of the pace. That's definitely not ideal. Dogs as well, 1.4 of the pace, not ideal as well, but not ideal for Viper Strikes. On for a very good, solid P5 in qualifying. And coming out of turn 18, just got it all wrong, it looked like, and straight into the barriers, and that was his quali, done and dusted. He'll be starting at the back of the grid. Is he going to be able to make his way through the grid? Time will tell. Let's see what he can do. 11 laps of the sprint. What could happen? Safety car enabled. We're just here for the fun. And the juice, really. You suck at street circuits. I mean, makes sense, Mav. Mr. Viper Strikes, what on earth happened there? Do you want to explain yourself? What happened? Did you just lose concentration and have enough and just went bosh into the wall? Or did you just, you know, couldn't be asked to complete the lap? What on earth happened there? Only time will tell. Yeah, not a bad qualifying. Some drivers looking quite fast, some looking quite slow, but I believe they could all improve just quite a bit. But here we go then. As I've been waiting to say for a very long time, it's 5 red lights here at the Baku street circuit, and it's lights out, and away we go. And obviously with a reverse grid after qualifying, maybe Viper Strikes did that on purpose. Into turn 1, he takes the lead by quite a big margin at the moment. There's moves happening in the background, which are Choose up into P5, Dogs up into P4. Changes happening left, right and centre, but the main focus is at the back of the grid with Chatus losing out to James Mustang. Outwards turn number 2, towards turn 3 and 4 we go now. Some cars are trying to go side by side on board with Chatus, it seems. Or McQueen trying to go around the outside. Someone's in the wall and they're out. I think that's out. I think that's them done and dusted. No, it's not. I thought they were done, but that brings out a virtual safety car. James Mustang, however, going into the wall at turn 3. And no front wing. I thought his tyre flew off, so that could have been a safety car on lap number 1. But managing to not die completely. But no front wing at Baku. Definitely not optimal. Definitely not ideal. This VSC could be, hopefully, not out for long, because we want to see some racing action. But yeah, Viper Strikes holds the lead into turn 1. And Maverick holds on to P2. Brizzen still chilling in P3 as he almost bins the car there in the castle section, which definitely is not ideal. Dogs into P4, has made up a position. To choose as well, not doing too bad. Suffocating, Bob McQueen as well. Not making much ground on lap number 1, but once we get this lap completed, 10 laps to go, I believe they'll be able to do it. But Oh, that's not ideal for to choose getting a drive-through penalty and speeding under the safety car. And what on earth did we just see there? We saw Viper strikes. I believe that must have been Maverick as well. And I believe that was Juice or someone. I think it was Prison. All drifting out of turn number 16. Definitely not ideal. Definitely not what we want to see. But Viper strikes at the moment, a 1.4 gap. That could be crucial. And saying crucial, that's 2 drivers out of the race on lap number 1. A virtual safety car once again turns into a full safety car. Tiki Dogs and Wobby McQueen both out of this race. 6 drivers remain. What a crazy lap 1 that was. That is definitely not ideal. The Wolves do make their way in Baku, Darkness. You are 110% correct there. That was crazy. Viper, though, ahead of the safety car coming out of the pit exit. So definitely not ideal. So he's going to have to go around again, I believe. As the safety car is going to pursue on not slowing down. Safety car? So Viper's got to pursue to the Delta, but is ahead of the safety car. I'm not too sure how this is going to work. I can't tell if they're being told to overtake the safety car or not. I'm hoping this is not going to be a red flag, but this could be a red flag straight away if we've already got a safety car bug within the game. Oh, no. They are being told to overtake the safety car. Interesting. So it could be a while before we get racing here at Baku, because I'm not too sure what the safety car is trying to do here, as someone's almost getting murdered by the safety car, and it would have been Chachus almost being slaughtered by that safety car. But Viper, with a lot of work to do, keeping to the Delta. Yeah, it's going to take some time. That was a drift, Darkness, indeed. I was not expecting that out of turn 16. Thought this was F2, not Tokyo Drift. Indeed, indeed, I saw. Yeah, that was definitely not optimal. But, to agree on, you got to admit, it was a little bit funny. Okay? It was funny. You got to admit. It was quite entertaining to see what happened out of turn 16 on the VSC restart. But Viper, lap number 2 out of 11. Are they going to make their way for a cheeky pit stop, or are they going to keep on the same old medium tires? Not very old, but he will stay out this lap. No one else is going to be coming in except James Mustang. I believe he's still got no front wing, or he has actually, so never mind. Nobody will be approaching this pit lane. Mav quite far behind. Hopefully these two could try to close as quickly as possible, but it depends on what happens here. So sit back, relax, get a drink, get a snack. You could be in for the long run here and the long shot. This is a very interesting start to the season of season 11 for round number 1 at Baku for the F2 lot. It's yeah. I saw them crash, overreacted and hit the wall. Yeah, Wobby, I kind of saw that. I can agree that probably wasn't optimal, buddy. I will probably agree. That wasn't the smartest observation or trick in the books, I would say. Yeah, not optimal, but hey ho, it's only a sprint race. All I can say to you is I beg, just don't do it in the main race, and then we'll be good, okay? Just don't do it in the main race, and then we should be good. You'll win the race, is what I like to hear. Dominance, pure dominance, love it. And there we go. As we're getting slightly sidetracked by the chat, Viper Strikes has caught up to the safety car, and going to be a few, maybe lap or two until we get underway with Green Flag Racing. Yeah, just wait and see what happens. The only driver that needs to catch up really now is Maverick and James Mustang. So yeah, they're the only two drivers that need to catch up to the gap, and then we can crack on. I would talk about standings, but this is only round number 1, so there's not much to talk about standing wise. At the moment, where Viper is and where Suffocating is, it's a very good start to the season with points wise, and then Tatus and Maverick as well, a very good start to the season for them. Not so great for Rob McQueen and James Mustang, as James Mustang is the only survivor, and you could say the same thing about Dogs and Prison. Only one driver remains alive in this race. Is it though? Are you sure you're gonna win this race? I mean, I hope you do. You know, would be nice, you know, as you're the talented driver within the grid. You know, you're very quick. Sometimes you make mistakes, but you just, you know, run away. What is your name, Max Verstappen? Better. I mean, yeah, I can agree. Better. You've got to love Max. Sometimes he can be a driver to watch out for in the real life world of F1. So yeah, lap number 4 out of 11. If you're just joining us, a warm welcome to you all. Not much has happened. Well, I say that, I lie. Lots has happened. It was lap number 1. Carnage begun with a VSC. And then on the VSC restart, the drivers made their way out of turn 16 and had a bit of a drifting contest, you could say, Tokyo-wise. Oh no, I think it was either turn 16 or 15, bit of drifting going on. And then it all came down to the wire between Dogs, who made a slight mistake out of turn 17 and was into the barriers, unfortunately. And then Rob McQueen overreacted and kind of followed in pursuit, you could say. So yeah, not great, but it can be done work-wise. So patience is key, and we just wait. Just play the waiting game. We're trying to find a new layout. Okay. I mean, I ain't gonna argue. You gotta do what you gotta do, you know. If that's the excuse you want, then take it. I am open to that. That is all fine by me. But yeah, while we are waiting for this safety car to get back in the pits, and it looks like it could happen very soon when James Mustang catches up, hopefully within this lap, is if you'd like to join us tomorrow for some more racing action, around number, I believe it's number 11, not number 11, season 11, ACC will be kicking off tomorrow around Misano. If you want to get involved with that, have a look at the latest announcements in Phoenix Sim Sport and get yourself involved if you have ACC, because trust me, it's a lot of fun around there. And Wobbing myself in the chat and a few others can really tell you it's a really good bunch to be with, and the racing action is a lot of fun. So why not get yourself involved? As the safety car is going in this lap, that means we will get underway with green flag racing once again here at Baku. Can anybody else be taken out by the walls here? Only time will tell. Viper Strikes leads the way. We're going to go on board with Suffocating and see how the top two get on within the restart. Can Suffocating do the impossible, get a great restart, and away they go actually. It's a very good restart for Viper Strikes, and as well you could say Brisen. Very good restart for everybody actually, but saying that, look at James. Gaining on Mav, down to turn 1, on board with James, late on the brakes, not happening. Not going to go for the move. Still stuck behind Mav, only on the restart though, so not too bad. Turn number 2, not much is going on with the shenanigans, as Suffocating is right on the gearbox here of Brisen as we make our way down to turn 3. DRS will be activated, I believe, within 2 laps of racing. He goes down the inside of turn 3, very close to the wall there was Brisen, but now Viper Strikes, Suffocating, both on the same team. It's a 1-2, and they'll be very happy. Can they keep it that way? Only time will tell. Maybe Suffocating will have to play out the secondary driver role of Ministry of Defense, and the gap is now 1.1. So I believe Suffocating is just doing that bit by backing off ever so much to allow Viper Strikes to run away. Very good, smart team play as well. Not too shabby, and not too bad. Not much happening in the playing field at the moment. Brisen stuck, you could say, behind to choose, but has really got a very fabulous exit, you could say. And he has hit the wall there a little bit as well. Not ideal. And he makes his way down to turn number 13 and 14. Someone has lost a wing, and who is it, you may ask? Well, indeed, it is Viper Strikes. He's lost his wing, he's hit the wall, and he may struggle at some of the corners here at Baku, especially down in Sector 2. Not so much as Sector 1, I would say, as, oh my goodness, Brisen as well, hitting the same corner that was McQueen and Dogs, which I believe that was turn number 17. Ever so slightly hitting that. It's getting very scary as someone is in the pits. It's Juice. He is in the pit lane. Broken wing as Viper Strikes is a fastest lap at the moment. A 1:59. That is something you don't see often. But what's also interesting is the top 2 are running away from Brisen. So could Brisen be affected by a little bit of wing damage? Possibility is quite high. And you can see right there his left winglet is missing. Same with Viper, but he's managing a very better pace at the moment than Brisen, as Brisen is really struggling to turn the car there. You can see at turn number 3 the car did not want to turn. Turn number 4 was a little bit better, but we're going to run on board of Brisen and see how he or she gets on in Sector 2 in a very tricky castle section. The gap up front is around about 1.6. And it does close around about here, but he may, I'd say, lose a lot of time here. Very close to the wall. Oh, Mav. Oh, Mav doing the same thing. Now, Mav's lost his right winglet, you could say, in the castle section. Definitely not ideal. That could be an opportunity for James Mustang to make his way up into P4 once they get DRS activated out of turn number 20 and the run all the way down to turn number 1. Oh, once again, Mav losing both winglets, it seems. Well, just one. Just the one, it seems. So Maverick up, I'll say down, sorry, into P5. And that promotes James Mustang up into P number 4. And Brisen, once again, starting to gain on the cars ahead. And yeah, pretty much it so far. Apart from Mav looking for an opportunity as Suffocating the fastest lap of the race, a 1:58.738 with DRS now enabled. Now, that really helps out Suffocating and Viper strikes. You may be asking, how does that help him out? Well, they can swap DRS, build that gap and run away and take home a 1-2 finish for the sprint. And we have the feature very later on, and look, you can see they're both playing the team game. Hopefully don't take each other out, fingers crossed. That gap, however, is around about 1.6 of a second, so it now depends very much on Suffocating's pace. Can he build a gap quick enough to not hold up his teammate of Viper strikes, and Viper gets past once again for a swap of the DRS tactics. Only time will tell. Let's see how Campos get on, shall we? But Brizan has really closed in this lap. I've just realised the gap was 1.6. It's under a second. He's within a second. He's gonna get the DRS if he keeps within a second. This would be mega, and it is. He's 8/10. Under a second. He's gonna get that rear wing open. Now Viper and Ollie are going to have to figure out what to do here, because battle is on as someone's gone too deep there. Now Suffocating with a broken wing. I believe half this lobby is probably playing around with broken wings now. So a level playing field, we shall say, really. Let's see how they get on. Down to turn number 1. Viper will probably get the move done. But does hit the wall there, and that allows Brizan up into P2. Viper down to P3. Will they get the DRS open? They're still within a second, and they do. Brizan doesn't get the DRS this lap, so Viper really needs to gain to try and get back into that P2 slot. But is he going to have the pace? Is he going to be able to fight Brizan? That's the fastest lap, and I wasn't too sure what that was. It's not that. Bear with chat, I've not done this in a while. A 1 minute 58.6. That is your fastest lap of this race. Viper still within DRS detection. Holy smokes. That is not what you wanted. Viper to go deep to allow Brizan to sneak up into P2. Yellow flag, and that is Maverick taken to the runoff of turn number 3, and to Juice making his way to turn number 3, being very cautious on throttle, as we just saw there. Maverick and Juice both on the same team. Will Maverick play the team game as he has a bit of wing damage and lets his teammate through? Only time will tell. Brizan, however, has really closed in with Suffocating. 6/10 now, 7/10 the gap is between the top 2, and Viper is 1.3 away at this moment of time, and is quite struggling now to close within that gap, because Brizan is just able to, I don't know, stretch, perform some mega pace. And Viper going a little bit wide there. That could have been a track limit warning, which definitely isn't ideal. So hopefully they keep it clean for the next 2 laps. This is actually going to be this lap. We go on to the penultimate lap of this race. Lap number 10 approaching us very shortly. And then the next lap, the final lap of this race. Let's see. Will Brizan make a dive into turn 1? In the final gear they can possibly be. Turn 1, trying to go around the outside. Thinks to take the inside line, but just can't get the traction within the tyres, because they're probably going to be wearing, tiring, and giving up by now. But Ollie goes way too deep. It does collide with the wall there, and it might allow Brizan to make an opportunistic move around the outside. Does have the inside line for the next corner at turn number 3. He does keep it clean. Both drivers keeping it very clean, actually. Suffocating. Bit of contact behind. And hopefully that wasn't any more damage to his rear wing. But the top 2 starting to get a little bit spicy. And it's actually helping Viper Strikes get back into this battle. But can Suffocating keep on the gearbox of Brizan to take back the lead of this race down into turn number 1? Only time will tell. These 2 very good within the F2 cars. I have no idea how they're this good. It does make me a little bit jealous, because when I get in the car, I can't drive them. I'm absolutely terrible at the F2 cars. I don't know why. I just am. Makes no sense whatsoever. But regardless, caution, yellow flags. That is Maverick out of this race now. DNFing 3 drivers out of this race. And yeah, definitely not ideal for Tachus, as Maverick is his teammate, so only 1 driver going to be scoring points. Very, very big day for Campos to be scoring some very hefty points. If Hyperstrikes keeps it clean, this final lap of racing himself could be on for a P3 here, but James Mustang is closing in very, very quickly. Only time to tell. Down to turn 1 with the top 2 now. It does switch around. Brisbane playing the smart game, letting Ollie through down at turn 1. Is he going to be able to get the lead back as we exit turn 2? This is going to get a little bit spicy. We're going to go on board with Brisbane to see what their exit is like. Ollie braking early. Brisbane doing the same. Both hitting the apexes to superb there. Ollie now going to try and go defensive as we make our way down to turn number 3. Brisbane thinking, I'm going to go try and go around the outside. Ollie has the inside line, both with wing damage. Ollie squeezing Brisbane as much as he possibly can, but keeping it clean at the same time. Banging wheels now, and they're still side by side. Brisbane suffocating going at it. Suffocating takes the lead now into 5 and 6, now approaching sector 2, the castle section. Oh, Viper getting it all wrong there. That's definitely not ideal, and now that allows James Mustang into DRS range. This race is getting absolutely crazy minute by minute. Can Viper keep this P3, or is he going to lose it at the grasp of his hands as we exit turn number 20 down to turn 1? Is DRS going to be powerful enough? We're going to find out. Here we go. Stay tuned in, because this sprint race on lap number 11 just got very, very interesting and very, very spicy. It all depends on this exit now of turn number 16. And they both get it to perfection. How's it all going to pan out? James Mustang as well, getting a very good exit. Brisbane right on the gearbox here, but does lift a little bit. Has obviously wing damage. It's not optimal through this couple of corners, and the gap should be big enough for Suffocating to take the win here at the sprint at Baku. Take a bow. That was amazing. Suffocating P1, Brisbane P2, Viper coming home in P3, able to fend off James Mustang for the final podium. James in P4 to choose, making his way to the line very, very shortly. But bravo, bravo to Suffocating. Wowzers, what a race that was. That was absolutely superb. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. That was amazing. If we get more races like that on the final lap of the sprint for F2, it's the spicy, spicy season. That is what we like to see, chat. That is what we like to see. I'm telling you now. That is what we like to see. I hope you're ready, because I am ready for this season. Let's have a look at the standings then. Hopefully, before the timer runs out. One game. Here we go. Well, never mind. We don't get to see what happens for the standings. I thought we'd watch the celebrations just for a little bit, but of course, as soon as you watch them, the game goes, you know what? You're not going to watch anything else. So screw you, game. We love you, really. Now, it's on to the main race itself here at Baku. The featured race. 15 hard racing laps. Hopefully Wobby, Dogs, and Mr. Maverick keep it out of the walls. And hopefully we get no more Tokyo drifting. Because that wouldn't be ideal now, would it? But patience is key, obviously. It shouldn't be too long until we get underway. If you're watching chat, who do you think is going to take the win for the featured race? Who are we thinking? If you got a vote, let me know, and we'll see if you're correct by the end of this race. Oh, here we go. It's the 5 red lights here at Baku for the featured race now. It's going to be lights out. And away we go. Suffocating, getting a very good start. Maybe trying to go around the outside here. James up into P3. And Suffocating trying to get as early on the power as they possibly can. Rob McQueen takes the lead into turn number 1. But turn number 2 we go now. And someone going side by side. And I'm not too sure who that was, but it might have been Chachus and James Mustang. They swap positions after Chachus to P3, James down to P4, Brisen in that P6 spot at the moment. Viper right at the back of the grid. Can they make up some momentum through the field? We'll see what they could do. It's crazy to say that Chachus is, what, 1.1 of a second already behind the top 2. Is this outrageous? As we see Suffocating around about 4 tenths behind, hasn't been left in the dust just yet. So we'll see how that continues and processes as the race goes on. But it's a very clean lap number 1. No one going in to the barriers at this moment of time, probably because they've learned from last time not to take it so aggressive. Just be, you know, nice and chill on lap number 1, see how everybody gets on, keep it out of the wall, and then we get some enjoyable racing time. So on the back of Maverick is a wild Brisen as they hop and bunny hop over the curbs. We saw Brisen really attacking that curb there, and what a lovely camera angle it was. Thank you so much, EA, for your lovely camera angles. And in doing so, Brisen has lost quite a bit of time and quite a bit of ground to Maverick himself. Tiki Dogs is right on the back almost of Brisen. Viper out of a second, not ideal. So we'll see if he can claw his way back in, as we've got a move actually, as I completely missed it, but it's been done and dusted. Now Maverick up into P4, getting ahead of James Mustang. That's a very lovely move, as we slightly, you know, we could say we rode on board with half of the move being done, but it's Maverick to P4 and James down to P5, and the fastest lap going to Rob McQueen. Very good stuff there. Maverick really flying through the field now. 3 tenths behind Chachus. So maybe Mav is saying, hey, Chachus, politely move out of the way. I'm the faster driver. Let me through, and I can try and close the ground to the top 2. Viper, I believe, having a bit of a moment somewhere on the circuit. 1.7 behind. However, the top 2... not going well in Suffocating's hands at this moment of time, as Mav actually does get past. I believe there was team orders there to choose moving out of the way, giving Mav that P3 spot to close down the gap to the top 2. Excuse me, like I was saying, top 2, however, not going in the way of Suffocating, as the gap is around about 1.3 of a second. So not ideal. Let's hope he can chomp away and close down at that gap. Yeah, that gap is really starting to open up now. Rob McQueen is really starting to run away here at Baku, and it just goes to show that he was saying earlier on in the chat he's won 2 titles of F2 so far and he wants to win more. There you go, a 155.445. He is going to be a champ if he keeps us going. Now Tachus being overtaken now by James Mustang, but later on the brakes down into turn 1 is still side by side, but James Mustang on those super softs, you could say, getting the better traction, getting the better momentum, and makes his way up into P4. There you go, job done for that superb move. Now it's Dogs right on the gearbox of Tachus, and Risen right on the gearbox of Dogs. All playing it out, but Viper Strike's not having a great race so far. But to be fair, if we have a look at the tyre compounds at this moment of time, 3 gyros on the mediums and the rest on the super softs, probably, you know, alternative strategies. We know the super softs don't last forever and intend to wear off very, very quickly. So only time will tell when that happens. Oh, that looked like that was a mistake from Wobbin McQueen in the castle section, almost binning it in the castle section. Definitely not ideal, but managed to keep out of the wall and keep the gap still alive somehow at some incredible pace at the moment. We'd love to see it. Tachus starting to get more confidence within the car to try and build back into his second within James Mustang. James Mustang really starting to close down on Maverick, who sits settled in P3 at this moment of time, but James trying to breathe down his neck, you could say, and close back up to that P3 position. And Dogs, oh, that's going to be a safety car for sure. And it's going to be, never mind, it's going to be a VSC. And that is James Mustang out of this race, hitting turn number 17. Once again, a crucial corner here at Baku, taking, once again, another victim and another life. And that's James done and dusted for round number 1. And it is going to be a full-blown safety car here at Baku. Could we see anybody in the pits? Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? So, once again, we have the lovely safety car out and about on track. You know, what can we talk about? Well, there is something we could discuss on the stream whilst we wait for racing action to revive itself in a few laps' time. We could talk about how things are changing with Phoenix regarding F124. So, if you'd like to know more information about that and know exactly what is going on, head on over to the, I believe it's the announcements section, and it will tell you the reasons why we're going to be stopping F124 for now. And yeah, here's about some what's going on. But we are going to still carry on with F123 with some racing, I believe, on a Sunday, and we're going to carry F2 as well, as always, on a Friday, because why not? It's a great bunch of cars, even though I think it's not a great bunch of cars, but drivers like them, people like them, so we're going to keep it. So yeah, like I say, for more information, have a read, have a gander, and let us know what you think. And there we go. Drivers making the way into the pits to get their stop done nice and early. This could actually, if we think about it strategically here, could be beneficial for the super soft runners. They make their way, right, as Tachus and Brisen stay out on the same, wrong one, tyres. Huh. Super soft runners come out P4, P5, P6, P7 on a fresh set of medium tyres. Now, this is when it gets interesting. Because the top three haven't boxed, of course. Why haven't they boxed yet? Because they're on the medium tyre. If they were to box now for a set of the super softs, that wouldn't benefit them whatsoever. Like, not at all. All that would do is give them a quicker pace on the restart and more grip on the restart, but their tyres would really, really, really fade out as time progresses and as time goes on. And that's something that would probably annoy those drivers. So if they want to keep it alive, they have to pull the pin and box at some point, but I'm not too sure when is a good time to box. Probably soon rather than later. I could be wrong. It could be within this lap, and if it's this lap, then it could get spicy and interesting with tyre wear kicking in. Go on board with the Choose, Brizin coming in, Viper staying out. So, second and third make their way into the pit lanes and will be right at the back of the grid. Very interesting tactical play from Viper. Staying out on those tyres still. Now, here's the game changer. That's either the correct decision or the wrong decision. Like I keep saying, and I always will keep saying, only time will tell on what actually happens. So Viper could potentially have a lot of work on his hands to get done with here tonight. So we're to see what will happen. Patience is key. Safety car should be in within this lap. If it's not, it's worth Viper boxing this lap, I would say. If it's not in this lap. The right call to make its way into the pits is either going to be this lap or will be next lap. Let's see what happens. It normally gets told to be called in here, but this could really work out for Viper because the back two have not approached or caught the rear of the safety car queue. So it is going to be staying out one more lap, I believe. And it is confirmed, yes. It will be staying out one more lap here at Baku. So Viper could make his way into the pit lane and be on a lap fresher tyres than to choose and Brizin. Is he coming in? He's staying out. He's staying out. Someone else making their way in the pit lane is Maverick. He's in the pits. What on earth is Maverick doing in the pit lane? He's going for a set of the super softs again. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I like it. This race has just got interesting. Okay. Damn. We'll see what map can do on a set of those tyres. Aloha, hello, hello. How we doing? Good day, Mix. Good day, good day. Do. All good on my side. How about you? Not too bad, thanks. We're just chilling here at Baku today. Some crazy things happen in the sprint race, especially on the final lap. That was crazy. But now we're just waiting for the safety car to peel back into the pit lane. And it's got to be in this lap. It is coming in this lap. Safety car going in. Going to go green, green, green on racing. The only driver to not box yet is Viper. That concerns me a little bit. Why he's not chose to come in is a different story. He's probably hoping for a very late safety car. So patience is key. We're on board with 3rd place. And see what happens. And Viper has gone green, green, green. And oh, never mind. Sorry, that was Webb McQueen in P3, suffocating Viper's teammate, trying to go for the move down at turn 1. And Viper lets suffocating through. Is Viper going to try and be the back marker for Webb McQueen and hold him up? As we saw, I believe it was last season, in season 10, Webb McQueen to the inside, Viper on the outside, both banging wheels as they try and make their way down to turn number 3. But Viper, having the older, unfresher tyres, is unable to get the power down. Never not ideal, but oh, a bump and a crash, you could say, behind, as that Tiki Dogs trying to avoid, I believe that was Viper, and I believe it was just an unknown passenger, as I believe that was Chatus. Way too late on the brakes, going into the back of Dogs, and then Dogs into the back of Viper, but Viper somehow able to avoid going to the back of Wobby. That was crazy. As Tiki Dogs needs to try and relive and revive that momentum into getting onto the gearbox of Viper. He's about 1.4 away. Viper starting to drop it now from Wobby, because Wobby's just got incredible pace. And how he's able to show it and use it is insane as well. So he could make his way by, on lap number 9, down to turn number 1 if he's close enough, and if he gets a good slip in tow. Let's see what he could do. On helicam point of view, with Wobby McQueen out of turn number 18, 19, passing turn 20, no DRS. I believe it's one more lap of racing, then the DRS gets enabled. On board Wobby McQueen, look at his straight line speed, it's absolutely insane. Down to turn number 1, suffocating late on the brakes, trying to defend this move into turn 1. It does successfully, but now he's probably going to be a little bit worried for turn number 2. See what happens here. As Wobby McQueen as well, very late on the brakes, but not able to get a superb exit like Suffocating did. As you see Brisen make his way into the top 5, now ahead of his teammate Tiki Dogs. Now trying to go for a move on Maverick for that position. Is he going to do it on the super set of super soft tyres? Trying to be late on the brakes, but Mav later as well with the fresher sort of tyres. Makes his way still in a comfortable P4. No position change at this moment of time. With McQueen 4 to 5 tenths behind Suffocating. This race is getting spicy. Very, very spicy. But the gap has really started to open up now to around about 5 tenths. So we'll be not feeling confident enough through that causal section. As you can see, they're getting a bit wobbly left, right and centre. Really is, you could say, living up to his name. Maverick around about, wow. He is obviously really closed up to the gearbox of Viper Strikes, but that's only because Viper is set to box yet. Mav right on the rear wing and gearbox of Viper. Is he going to make a move shortly? Hits the wall there. So does Brisbane behind, and Brisbane will go for the move. It's almost 3 wide, and Viper is making his way into the pit lane. DRS is now enabled this lap. Wood McQueen has lost a second to Suffocating, so he will not get the DRS on this restart. However, can he regain that momentum and try and get it back? Most likely. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what he can do. Brisbane not going late on the brakes. Mav goes a little bit deep, which allows Brisbane to really catch up to the rear wing of Mav. Viper, however, still in the pits on a set of the super softs, currently in P6. Probably not going to be able to do much unless anybody crashes. That could be a different story. We're going to keep our eyes peeled, though, on Brisbane and P4 fighting for that P3 slots. And obviously, the lead of this race is now within a second. 4 tenths of a second is the gap between the top two. Can Suffocating keep it that way? Try and keep Bob McQueen behind. But I don't think he will be able to, because we saw the pace and straight line speed difference with no DRS. Bob McQueen will be unstoppable once he has DRS activated as well. He'll be flying, you could say, like a torpedo. But if these top two keep fighting, this could really bring Mav and Brisbane into some very spicy contention to basically, you could say, to win this race. So here's something interesting we're going to do. We're going to go on board with Bob McQueen. We're going to see what his straight line speed is like. How quick is this McQueen driver, you could say, in a straight line? Look at the overspeed on that. That is saying a name for yourself. He's got the setup. He's got the confidence on the brakes. He's got the momentum. Is he going for the move to turn 1? He's going late on the brakes. Ooh, very, very close to contact, but Suffocating somehow, somewhat keeping this driver behind. Down to turn 3, Bob McQueen right now chillaxing as Suffocating goes way too deep, and you could say almost goes into the back of Suffocating there. Some very good avoidance there. This is getting spicy. At the back of the field of Brisbane fighting for that P3 slots, not much is happening. Not much is happening. You could say the same thing's going on with these two, and the same thing for the top two as well. Drama, contention. Mav a little bit deep there. Almost into the wall, but keeping out the wall, and Brisbane thought, you know what, I could probably go for a move there, but she didn't have the space or the confidence to do so. Superb. Right, top two still going at it. 5 tenths is the difference it makes between these two. What will happen? Only time will tell. As they make their way out turn 16, down towards Turn number 1. He will get that rear wing open, but is he close enough? Foot to the floor, down to turn 1, not going to be close enough to go for a lunge. He does back off a little bit as Brizin goes for the move and in to P3 ahead of Mr. Maverick himself. Mav might try and go for a switchback, but is unable to. But remember, Mav is on a fresh set of tyres compared to Brizin, so that could get spicy. Robin McQueen still unable to make a difference. Probably struggling with tyre wear now and suffocating keeps going too deep there, which then allows Robin McQueen to really close up to the rear of that car. It goes to show that these drivers, sometimes racing against friends, you feel pressure. You really, really do. But like I said, we have a look at tyres quickly. That's the wrong one. We want this one. You can see Mav's tyres are lap fresher, which is really, really crucial within this game. Tyre wear can make a difference, and that is what Mav is doing right now. So we'll see if that plays into contention still towards the end of this race. Can Mav keep within a second to fight back for that P3 as we look towards the top 2 of Rob McQueen and suffocating, making the way to turn number 16 now, or sorry, 15 now. Towards 16 we go. Good exit for the pair of them here, and it is a very good exit for the top 2. But can suffocating, as he's been doing every so often, keep ahead as the race goes on? Bobby McQueen's a little bit closer this time out. He's got the toe. He's got the DRS very, very shortly. Is suffocating about to lose the lead of this race? He is. He is indeed. Here we go then. Now would be suffocating that has the DRS. For turn 2 is Maverick going around the outside, trying to get the move done, and he does. Superb, but does hit the wall there. Oh my goodness. Hits the wall. Brizin goes into the back of him. Not what you want to see. Suffocating has the DRS advantage right now, but isn't close enough to go for a move on Robin McQueen. But can he stay close enough in Sector 2 to get the toe and go for the same move that Bobby did at the exit of turn number 16 and keep close enough? Only time will tell. But Maverick losing out to Brizin once again. And Brizin back into P3. Mav down into P4. It's all going on to the final laps of racing here at Phoenix. It's crazy. But great at the same time. Bob McQueen have really started to push now and run away with this race lead. Suffocating just can't show the pace and can't match what Rob McQueen has to say for his, I'd say, incredible pace for today. It's crazy. As Mav as well losing out to Brizin. The gap is now 1.3 of a second. What's going to happen if the top 2? Can suffocating break back in under a second? Only time will tell. He will be begging that Rob McQueen makes a mistake somewhere to bring him back in contention, as good old Viper getting a time penalty from this race. 3 seconds to his name, down in P6, and that's probably where he'll finish today, I want to say. Which isn't ideal, but it is what it is. If I was racing in F2, I would be happy with P6 finish. So, the penultimate lap of this race, not much is happening or going on, as the gaps are really starting to open up between these guys. Oh, Mav almost in the wall there, and loses a chunk of time. Brizin comfortable P3 if they keep it nice and tidy and nice and clean towards the end of this race. But Bobby, he's gone. He is like vanished. As we have good old yellow flags, and that's Maverick in the wall at turn number 3 and does have wing damage. So maybe Viper could get a free position here and up into the top 5, but it just depends how affected Mav's pace is. Because you've got to remember, this is the penultimate of the race. So if Viper gets by, he's got to then build 3 seconds on top of that, which some say could be impossible, but it can be done. It can be done. But for the final time here, Baku for round number 1, on the penultimate lap of this race, our 2-time champion, Robin McQueen, trying to make it 3 in a row, is looking to take the win here. Just 1 more lap to go. We'll see what happens. Makes his way down the massive back straight, or start straight you could say, of turn 20 down to turn 1. No drag reduction system, as there's no one within a second really to let's say let's go. So if he keeps out of the wall, he's home sailing, you could say. Home sailing. Viper 2.5 away from Mr. Maverick himself, who does have severe front wing damage. How much is he struggling? Only time will tell. He's now going to be within 1.9 very, very shortly. 1.8 now. So Viper could get the move done here and up into P5, but can he then build a 3-second gap on top of that to secure his P5? Like I say, only time will tell. Robin McQueen has completely ran away with the race lead now. Suffocating is unable to respond. 3.4 is the gap between the top 2. Viper now within attack mode of Maverick himself, who's under humongous pressure with that wing damage. But we're going to see what happens here. Mav continuing to fight this one into the castle section now. Both going a little bit deep, but Viper maybe trying to go side by side here. But Mav doing some excellent defending, keeping out of the wall at the castle section. And Viper may just have to settle for P6. But you could say, to make it 3 titles in a row, it could be possible. If he keeps up this performance, Robin McQueen making his way out turn number 20, flat out now to the start and finish to take the win here at Baku for round number 1. Didn't go so well in the sprint race, but it's redemption for himself, winning the feature race here at Baku. Superb race from Wobby himself, and he looked down the rest of the grid order, suffocating, winning the sprint. P2 in the feature will be gutted not to be P1, but P2 still a good result. Prison finalising the top 3 with a P3. Dogs and P4. Viper coming home in P6 with a 3-second time penalty. Mav crossing line, finishing P6. So maybe he got time penalty himself. I could be wrong. I'm a bit confused. I'm not too sure, but it was 62 thousandths of a second between those two. So interesting stuff there. Viper comes home in P5. Wobby takes the win of the race, suffocating in P2. And then to finalise it, Prison finalising the top 3. Superb, superb. Bravo, bravo. We might get a cheeky lunge at the results and see what's going on with those. And that'll be it for this evening. I know, Mav. I know. That is crazy. You need to get better, my friend. But there we go. That's the classification for this weekend. Round number 1 here at Baku. It's going to be sprint race win for suffocating Prison P2 within the sprint. And then Viper finalising P3 in the sprint. And then the featured race for today is Robin McQueen taking home a P1, suffocating in a P2. And then Prison once again finalising a top 3 finish. But that's it. We are done and dusted for this evening. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, we're going to end the stream there. If you want to keep up to date with all the stuff that happens here at Phoenix, check out the socials down below. Join the Discord if you're not a part of it already. And by all means, if you want to get involved, get the F2 role, come and get involved, because if you've seen racing action like this, you're going to want to be involved. And once again, if you want to know what's going on with F1 24 and etc., have a look at the announcers of Phoenix, and it explains what is happening along those guidelines. You guys have been so fantastic for sticking by, and I'll catch you in the next one for round number 2 here at, I don't know what circuit it is because I haven't got the calendar in front of me, but we'll be back for round number 2 of F2. And stay tuned, stick around for tomorrow as we have ACC going live around Misano for 1 hour racing. Let's see how that goes. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.